Good morning and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea. First of all, sorry there wasn't a review after the Crystal Palace semi-final. There were so many reviews out there, I thought why bother, because I couldn't do it on the day or the day after because of work. And all I would have said was lousy first half, much better second half, well done Mason, well done Timo, and I would have given Mount just man of the match over Timo, Timo looking inspired, I must say. So to last night, it was Chelsea 2, Arsenal 4 at the Bridge, and I have to say, for quite a few reasons, I'm putting that down as our worst performance of the season. Largely because Arsenal are absolutely pants. Yeah, they got young lads who looked dangerous on the break, but that's because we were absolutely awful. I don't like blaming individual players, in fact I'm not going to, but that first Christensen mistake that gave them their first goal, that was just a follow on really from his performance against Real Madrid. Absolutely shocking. I think he's at Barcelona already, and if he is, he's probably at Barcelona and getting dropped based on how he's playing at the moment. Absolute shocker last night. Absolute shocker. And if he is signed for Barcelona, I personally don't think he should ever play in the Chelsea first team again. And I personally don't think we'll miss him at all based on some of his performances this season. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. Yeah, he's improved a lot under Tuchel, but just last 3 or 4 performances, his head's clearly not at Chelsea, and if it is, his feet definitely ain't. Absolutely useless last night. No surprise to see him go off. Anyway, I'm not going to start just slating players, although I had to get that off my chest. Well, there's a few that could really get slated. Rudiger was injured last night, so I knew he'd be a big miss. But then when I saw Malang Sarr, you know my thoughts on Malang Sarr, and he didn't disappoint me, to be fair. He didn't disappoint me. He was everything I thought he'd be. And then we had no Thiago Silva playing either, obviously for rest, I can understand that. Then we had Christensen in the middle of a back three, you know my thoughts. And we played Reece James on the right side of a back three, which means we lose his pace and defensive capacity when you're up against youngsters down the right. And we played Aspie on the right with Marco Alonso on the left allegedly. Just in front of them we had Kante, who hasn't been at the races lately. Let's be honest, I love N'Golo Kante. I'm not writing him off because he's been written off before, and he comes back and he plays brilliant. He's had a season absolutely laced with injuries. He's on Ramadan, so he's hardly eating. His energy levels must be through the floor, and he's not got Kova next to him to cover that ground that he's not getting across to. We played, obviously Kova's injured, so we played Ruben Loftus-Cheek there. Now Ruben's got a lot of qualities, a lot of good qualities running at teams going forward when he's part of a midfield three, but I think that when he's just in a midfield two, we're not strong enough. We're not strong enough defensively, and when Kante goes forward and Ruben has to drop back, we look exposed because he's not really a defensive midfielder. That's my thoughts. I'll be interested to know what you lot think. In front of them we had Mount and Werner, no problems there, and up front we had Romelu Lukaku. Now I don't know about you, I want him to do well, I still want him to do well. I'm not one of these, he'd made an interview. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I like to think it was a mistake, although I have my doubts. And you think to yourself, centre forward, not had much of a chance. You know, I'm playing a big game, London Derby against Arsenal. Play for the, done it again like that badge, and what does he do? What does he do? When he went off, he had, I think he'd had 18, 19 touches, the fewest touches. The Arsenal goalkeeper had touched it more than Romelu Lukaku. We don't always play to his strengths. I'm the first one to say that, but he needs to find some hunger from somewhere. Sell him for 97 million. I've severely got my doubts. Severely got my doubts. I think if we get 60, 70 for him, we'd be lucky. So that was the team. I looked at the team. I can see why they want to rest Havertz. But against Arsenal, really only need to get 2 more games out of the way with that first team, Arsenal and West Ham, and then maybe rest a few of these players. I can see that, but Arsenal at home and then West Ham, and then I think if you get them 2 games out of the way and you win those 2 games, then you've got a little bit of breathing space. I know we've still got a game in hand, but games in hand mean nothing, especially if you lose them. So when Tuchel says we're not guaranteed a 4th place, after last night, Tommy, I believe you. I think we will get 4th or 3rd, but need to win these games. Can't put performances in like that. 3 home games now we've lost in a row. The first time since 1993, and we've conceded 11 goals. Compute that. Now I love Tommy Tuchel, but last night he got it wrong. He got it wrong big time with his team selection. I know he has to trust these players, I know he has to rest players, but I looked at that side and thought, oh my God. Still didn't think I'd witness the self-destruct button that I did witness, but I had really big worries before we kicked off. So, poor back pass by Christensen, lets in Nketiah. Mendy hasn't got a chance, 1-0 down, but we get back into it. A nice little Timo Werner shot, which he wouldn't have done a couple of weeks ago, but took a deflection. Ramsdale didn't have a chance of getting back to it, and it's 1-1. No harm done, Christensen. You go back into your slumber with no real harm done. Second goal, back to my point on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He basically lets his man go, 2-1 down. Nice finish. Don't think Mendy could have. He was wrong-footed. Don't think he could have done any better with it. Again, we come back. Mount, Werner, battling hard. Cross goes in. Aspie puts it away. Nice finish. 2-2. I was thinking at that point this game could be 10 each, because Arsenal are absolutely pants. Absolutely pants. One of the worst Arsenal sides I've seen for years. But they were playing against one of the worst performances that I've seen from a Chelsea side for quite some time. Even worse than the Brentford. We just didn't look like we knew what we're doing at the back. Didn't look like it. Sideways balls when we're going forward, when there was a forward ball on. It was just horrible. Horrible to watch. Then another mistake. 3rd goal. Who gave it away? I think it was Ruben. Gave a cheap ball away. They go on the attack. Ball gets crossed into the middle, and it's like watching the Chapel brothers in the middle there. Malang Sarr comes across, should hoof it into the stand. He sort of leaves it, collides with Kante, and they've got an easy chance with 3-2 down. And the 4th one, the penalty, what Aspie was thinking, doing. I mean, they might as well shone a spotlight on him. It couldn't have been highlighted more. And why he argued, I have no idea. Yes, yeah, the lad grabs Saka grabs hold of him in the first instance, like all forwards do in that situation. But that's followed by Aspie giving him a WWE slam, and then Aspie gets up and argues about it. I watched it. I thought, oh, it's gone to VAR. Why? Why has that gone to VAR? That's the most obvious penalty I've ever seen. And you know, one day Mendy's gonna dive the right way for a penalty, but you just don't know when, and you wouldn't put your money on it, would you? Horrible, horrible performance. That's all I can say. You know, I'm so disappointed this morning. You know, after thrashing Southampton, after that brilliant display in Madrid, thrashing Southampton, and then the second half when we nullified really a decent Crystal Palace team, who were obviously lacking Conor Gallagher, and it was just horrible. Right, I'll go through the scores. So Mendy gets a 6. His distribution wasn't anything amazing last night. I think after the Real Madrid game, his confidence has been affected. Maybe a case for giving Kepa one of his games in goal and letting Mendy just sit, watch and get his mojo back. None of the goals last night were his fault. I've seen him being criticised, but I don't know, you just think to yourself, maybe a top-notch Mendy might have, I don't know. But anyway, he gets a 6. Distribution wasn't great. Christensen, I know he only got a half, but I'll still score him. He gets a 4. Doesn't look like his head's in the right place. Just poor every aspect of his game. His concentration, his distribution, ball winning headers, and that farce of a first goal. He gets a 4. To the right of him, Reece James, who latterly, too late in the game, moved to right wing back from that right central position. Reece James get a 6. He got torn apart a few times because he was outnumbered, and generally, I know Thomas Tuchel says he likes him just as much there as wing back, but I disagree. You know, he's an adequate centre half if you've got everyone else is injured, but you've got Trevor Chalobah sitting there who's got pace. Apparently he's training really well according to Tuchel, so why he didn't play and we kept James at right back, and if you're going to put Aspie anywhere, stick him in the centre of defence. That's the way I would have played it, but yeah, you know, what does it matter what I would have done? So yeah, Reece gets a 6. Aspie gets a 6, scored a good goal, but don't know what he was doing with that penalty, and obviously got ripped a new one by the youth of their side. Malang Sarr, he gets a 1. He gets a 1. He was on the pitch and he was breathing. And that's all I'm going to do. I don't want to destroy a young lad, but he's not Chelsea quality. He never will be, as I've said before, as long as I've got a hole in my bum. Just very, very poor. Plays the ball sideways. I played one good ball, actually. I'll tell you what, you know what? I'm going to give him a 2. He played a 60-yard ball that was out of this world, and I had to look twice to make sure I had the right player who played it. So Malang Sarr gets a 2. Breathing and one brilliant ball. Alonso gets a 4. Very poor. Very poor. Couple of good balls in. One decent half chance, a shot at goal that's probably rolling down the Fulham Road as we speak the morning after. Just defensively non-existent. Going forward could have done so much better. Always, if he can pass sideways or backwards, he will. And no, just shocking. In midfield, Kante gets a 5. He's so far behind the Kante we know and love at the moment. It's not real. Always looked second best last night. Won a few decent balls. I'm probably being a bit unfair of him, but because of his own high standards, he just gets a 5. Not going to dwell on it. He's had an injury-littered season. He's never really got into full flow. I think for 2 or 3 games when he come back from his first injury, he looked like the old Nicolo. Not writing him off by any means. He's been written off before and come back flying. I'm sure he will do that again, but at the moment, poor. Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets a 6. He's not a defensive midfielder in my book. Tried running forward a few times and then was getting overrun in that midfield. Thought we'd have learnt from that Real Madrid game, but obviously not. Werner and Mount, they both get a 7 from me. Werner looks like a new man. Has the confidence to shoot where once he wouldn't. Got crowded out. After that second goal, had to play against a very resolute Arsenal defence. That Arsenal side has got a lot of pace. That's about all they've got. And yeah, they defended resolutely. But Werner, always trying to be positive, and he gets a 7. Same with Mount. If I had to choose a Chelsea man of the match between, it'd be between Mount and Werner. Probably just goes to Werner. Mount gets a 7. Put a shift in. Frustrated at times. Not his best game defensively. Yeah, he huffed and puffed last night, Mason Mount, without it being his best game. And Romelu Lukaku gets a 3. Gets a 3. We don't play to his strengths, it's as simple as that, but he is pretty damn bog ordinary at the moment. Pretty poor. We improved a bit when Thiago Silva come on. We looked a bit more organised at the back. It certainly gave Sarr a bit more confidence, but then we concede that Keystone cock goal, and yeah, what can I say? Thiago Silva would get a 6.5 maybe. He organised them when he came on. Tommy Tuchel for that last night gets a 4. Poor team selection. You could see he was fed up after the game. And so you would be. He wasn't as fed up as I was, but you could see he was fed up. No tempo in that last night. The only reason we were in it at 2-2 was because we're playing against a dead ordinary side in Arsenal. They've got a lot of youth that you get that exuberance, that enthusiasm, but that's all they've got. Shocking Arsenal side was met by a shocking Chelsea performance, and that's it. I'm not going to go on anymore. Sorry, folks. It was an abomination of a performance. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Doesn't look like we're going to have Rudiger against West Ham, which is a loss. Doesn't look like we're going to have Kova against West Ham, which is a loss. But let's hope we put in a better shift than we did last night against West Ham. Otherwise, they're going to be blowing bubbles for ages. Alright, folks. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and throw the video a like. It helps me out. Let me know what you think, because that's why I do these. Let me know where you think I'm wrong. Let me know where you think I'm right. And as I say, this is your channel as much as mine. So thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Up to Chelsea.